Awesome. Cool. Okay. Okay. So Kelley,
Yes.
Jagged Mind,
Yes.
absolutely incredible. How did you get involved in this project? Because I know you came on when this was going from a short to a feature. So how did you kind of get involved with this project from the get-go?
So, my film, I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking, had won at South by Southwest. And that got me the attention to get in the room and pitch to 20th Digital. And so they were looking for directors to direct the short that they had originally called First Date. And so I pitched, and I didn't think I was going to get it because I went in there changing everything. I was
Oh,
like,
really? Oh, hell
yeah,
yeah. I was curious about like how you affected the vision of the short and getting into the feature.
I changed everything. Like I just knew when I went in, I was like, yeah, they're not gonna pick this because I didn't follow any of the what was on this page.
Oh, yeah.
So it originally took place in New York, in Manhattan, with two women, two white women. And mind you, I did not watch the short. I did not want to, because I didn't want
Oh.
to affect my vision of what the feature should be. And so I went in saying, yeah, well, we've kind of seen this before, maybe not the two women part, but we've seen like the white art in Manhattan and this and that. And
You think?
I was
Sorry.
being so real. I was keeping it real with them. And
Yeah.
I said, I really think that our lead should be African American or Afro Caribbean or something, because I was just bringing in my background. I come from an interracial couple, and I remember how people would look at my parents when we were out walking, and it was never like anything um abrupt. It would just be like you could tell people were looking like, oh, they're
Yeah.
oh, that's what
Yeah.
they're saying. Yeah. And so that brings, to me, I thought that that brings another layer of tension, unspoken tension, but social society's, tension to their
Yeah.
relationship, in addition to all the other tension that they have in the film that you very well know. So I pitched that, not knowing that that's how they had done the short. So me and Allison were already on the same page. Then I said, since there's magic in this, I don't feel like it should be in New York. I feel like it needs to take place down in New Orleans, where magic is believed. And so
Yeah.
um they they liked it. They liked that idea. And so we were going to do that, but then it got for logistical reasons, Miami got pitched. And I said, well, if we do it in Miami, then we need to do it in Little Haiti. I spent a lot of time in Haiti on some of my other films that I've done. And I said,
Cool.
but if we do that, we need to add another character to the movie to make sure that it's not interpreted that the evil magic is voodoo, because that's a religion that we need to respect. And so we need to make sure that if we have voodoo in it, then it needs to be helping our character, protecting our character, warning our character. And so, and to differentiate it from the magic that is floating around in there. I don't want to tell too much. So
Well,
that's
and
how it is.
I love that though, because I feel like voodoo in so much horror is like it's spooky, scary, like ooh. And I was like, we finally have a movie where voodoo is much more nuanced and like helpful, like you said, and
Right.
complicated rather than like a scary
Because
woman with like a snake around her neck or something. You know what I mean? Like it's always like that.
it's always sensationalized and made to be that way. And it's a religion. It's a religion like any other
Yeah.
religion, and needs to be respected. And like any other religion, it's who is practicing it. You can go to the
Yeah.
Christian church and there's some mean people in the church. So it's not the religion, it's the individual.
No.
And
Yeah.
so
And there's really cool stuff going on too with like I don't want to spoil it, but like white characters taking co-opting things and using them for bad things. And I just love how this movie engages with all this stuff,
yeah.
especially in a subgenre like time loops that we've seen a million times. And I feel like they're always very similar. And this was such an incredible way to use the time loop, especially as again, no spoilers, but like bad. And I feel like we don't, it's more cosmic a lot of the time, but having it here, and as someone who has gone through a pretty awful relationship, the way that you portrayed it on screen is just so impactful and beautiful. And I just loved that so much, and how you were able to capture interpartner violence in such a careful way. And I wanted to hear more about like tackling that subject matter as a director with this.
Yeah, it was very important to Allison too, to
Yeah.
be able to display those issues on the screen, and to like, for a lot of LGBTQ plus films, oftentimes it's coming out stories or things like that, and we don't do that in this script. Allison just
Yeah.
dropped us into this world of these two women who are, they just are dating.
Yeah,
They're
they're just, yeah,
people.
it's just like sapphic as hell. There's no like trauma around being gay. It's just like they're dating. And
They're
I
dating.
love that. It's just like normal. It's like, yeah.
Yes, and as it should be, right? So so basically, when I approach people who characters that would be seen as villains, they're never villains to me. And I was saying that Alex is like my favorite character. I love
Oh, yeah.
how complex she is. I do not see her as bad. Yes, she's doing bad things, but because she wants to love someone. And when have we've all gone a little too far to try to make someone we love happy. And is that wrong? Or is it just experiencing life and trying to find out what your boundaries are and what you will take and what you won't take? Now, this is a little more extreme than what we're not all running around with magic stones, or
Yeah.
are we? But
I feel like I had
nonetheless,
this conversation before. I don't know.
it seems familiar, huh?
My nose starts bleeding.
I know. You start flashing in different places. But yeah, so I don't see anyone as bad when I'm approaching my directing and storytelling.
Yeah.
They're not. They're people who are processing things, and maybe they're approaching it in a not so healthy way, but they're not bad. And that's what I do my best to try to bring compassion to characters so that we understand them. And I feel like it makes them more relatable. And it also makes it more complex, because you want to hate somebody. And if it's not clean lines of hate, it's all blurred, then it makes for a better character. Yeah.
Well, and especially because, again, like we were talking about with queer characters always being in boxes, and here we have messy queer characters. And like, again, as a queer person, we're all messy, we're chaotic, we're weird, and like we should be allowed to be bad guys too. And so, or not even bad, like messy, chaotic, black, gray. And I love that this movie just dives right into that. And
Yeah.
I think it's just like adding to a new wave of this queer horror cinema that I think is so important. And that makes me so happy as a queer woman, especially seeing queer women in horror like this. And so many, like, just your cast is almost all just women. And I love that it is just like matriarchal / femme energy in this movie.
And
I
you
love
can't
that.
really even tell. You
You
don't even
can't. I didn't notice until after. I was like, wait a second.
it's
Like,
just
this is,
actors.
yeah.
They're just great
Yeah.
actors. Like, you
Yeah.
actually have to sit and think and look back and be like, wait a second, it was predominantly all women in this film. Like,
Yeah.
but they're captivating. Every single actor on the screen is just captivating. You don't even realize it. Hence why we need to make more women films too, because they're just captivating. It's not just for women. Yes.
No, they're incredibly captivating. So are you a genre person? Do you like horror movies? Are you a horror fan outside of your work?
I think I'm scared of horror.
Okay. Cool.
I'm that person that will, like, I can't watch it by myself. The last time I watched something scary by myself, I threw my friend into a box. So like I was watching American Horror Story, the first season, and that little girl that kept appearing in their house.
Yes.
Well, I had a friend who was coming over to film at my place, and I had given her the keys and I had forgotten, and I had set up and binge watched like the first season by
and that's a scary season too. Like it's a lot going on.
And my friend is short, she's little, and she had texted me that she was coming, but I thought I had to let her in. I forgot I gave her a key. And anyway, I go and I open my bedroom door and she's right there, just like that little girl that I threw her.
No.
Look, I know my fight or flight. I'm fight. That's what I
It's like those TikToks where they cut from being with an animal to a stuffed animal and they throw it across the room.
That's why I'm like, horror films are fantastic. I love them in groups.
Yeah.
But this one, it's different when you're making it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not as scary. It's actually fun. Like when we had the blood pump and all this, it's like we were all a mess. They're very fun to make. And I had not done a genre film before.
Yeah.
A lot of my films are they're different and they're entertaining, but they always have some like social impact. This one does too. I guess I always do that. I can't help,
Yeah.
but they're not as, I don't know. I can't even describe it.
Yeah. I think your filmography, it's a little bit more grounded. There's a little less like fantastical elements. Like they're grounded. And this one is, I think this is so grounded, but again, we have more weird things going on.
Look at like the way we were able to push the color and like we got to get weird. And the fun shot that I call the Ratatouille, which is like this, I stole it from the animation Ratatouille because I saw it like it whipped from like the kid to the food critic, and it like it was different places. And I was like, oh, I want to do that with our character. And like I was able to have more freedom and more fun and push the boundaries. And usually when I'm coloring, it's like, okay, well, we got to make it feel like real life. And like this one, we don't. We got the reds, we got those blues.
It's so beautiful.
So I think I might be hanging around genre for a minute. I think I got the bug. Yeah.
Good. I was going to say, please make more genre movies. Like, I hope you have the bug, and I'm very glad you have the bug.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, Kelley, thank you so much for chatting with me today about Jagged Mind. I really appreciate picking your brain about this one.
Oh, I appreciate you talking to me. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah.